Okay, so a lot of you who actually know me know Miles Long. He is amazing. He's like the coolest dog ever. Like, seriously, that's not just me saying that. A lot of people really are Team Miles. Like, he's just the best. Occasionally, though, he is slightly less than perfect. So the other night, I went out to dinner, by which I mean I had dinner in, um, well, not even my neighbor's house, but like the other house on the property. And I left Miles in my apartment. Um, and I came home and he seemed like a little bit pleased with himself. And I was like, what's going on here? And I looked in my bedroom, and earlier in the day, I had gone to Mystic Market, which is this great little like grocery store, prepared food, sandwich shop, whatever in town. So amazing, really good food, almost as good as the Hadline Market just down the street. Anyways, so while I was there, I was like, oh my gosh, look at this! They have this lemon crumb cake. I'm gonna get it. We're gonna just like live it up, eat this whole pie, cake, whatever. So, anyways, come home from dinner and I see the box is on my bed. And there's like basically Miles has eaten the entire thing but saved me one slice. Like, there's just this little piece of lemon crumb cake left, and he has eaten the rest. He is clearly not feeling guilty about it. He feels pretty amazing. And he can't. I mean, to be fair, Miles is like 105 pounds. Like, he's a big guy. He can eat. He can eat a lot. One time he ate an entire extra large pizza, other than the one piece that someone had eaten. So like, he's he can put it down. But anyways, I didn't think that he would eat that much lemon crumb cake, and he's also like, so right here. This is my kitchen table, and I guess I had left it on the kitchen table instead of putting it up on the counter. And Miles' face is basically, when he's walking around, his face is like right here. So like crumb cake would have been right there. And he just really enjoyed himself, and I couldn't even be mad, even when he had to go out like four times in the middle of the night and kept whining and was really annoying about it. But I was like, you know what? I really can't blame him. If someone left an entire lemon crumb cake right in front of my face and while they went out to dinner without me, I'd probably eat it too. Anyways, that's my Miles story of the day. All right, so another story about Miles, a collection of stories, if you will. So Miles would come to all the horse shows with me. He still does. I say would. Like, there's like, well, I guess would, because nobody's going to horse shows right now because of COVID. So anyways, he would come and he like hangs out around the barn during the day. We like leave him tied up so he can reach his water, whatever. He doesn't really need tied, but following the rules and everything. So anyways, like some of the parents would come by and ask if Miles needed to go on a walk, and I'd be like, well, I mean, sure, like he doesn't need to, but I'm sure he would appreciate it. And the thing about walking Miles around a horse show is everyone knows him. Like, people that I have never seen before in my life, I'll be like walking by with Miles, and they're like, hey Miles, how's Miles? Oh, hey Miles. And I'm like, feel it's like you're taking a celebrity around. It feels great. Like, I like to take credit for it. Like, I grew him myself or something, but he's just this glorious creature on his own. So anyways, this one particular set of parents of the girls who worked for us, they're actually now officially Miles' godparents. Um, so they would take Miles on walks and take him by like the food stand and would order him his own meals because, as they would say, well, he seemed hungry, so I just got him a cheeseburger and, I fed it to him, and then he seemed like he wanted another one, so then I got him a hot dog, and so they'd like take him out multiple times a day and go by the food stand and get him all these great meals, and he just lives it up. Like, Miles knows how to horse show for sure. And yeah, like I said, everybody he's a very, very gregarious sort. He'll just run right up to you and he'll woo 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 you. And I mean, you feel really important when he does it. Slightly threatened, perhaps, if you haven't met him before, because here's this massive dog running towards you, woo wooing. But as soon as you know him, oh man, he's just the best. Um, So, anyways, that's another story about Miles and his celebrity status at horse shows. So, another thing about Miles, as I'm sure you're realizing watching this, is that I tend to talk about him as if he's a person. Also, no offense to Senna. I do have another dog, Senna meters long. I don't just have Miles long. Senna is great. But Miles is coming on 9 years, and so I've had him for um, just shy of that. I got him when he was 2 months old at the shelter. So we have a long history. Long. So funny. Anyways, so where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So I talk about Miles like he's a person quite often. So my last surgery, well, actually, not my last surgery, 2 surgeries ago, I had a bunch of kidney stones removed. Not fun. So my mom had come out to help me with the surgery, with the recovery, and we're in the recovery room, and I'm peeing blood and crying and puking and all of those things. Like I'm miserable, basically. But I start saying how I want to go home. I just want to see Miles. I just want to go home. And the nurse was kind of like, we might let's make sure you're just a little more stable before you go home. But like, who's Miles? Like, is that your husband, boyfriend? My mom just kept saying like, I just want to see Miles. I just want Miles. And my mom's like, yeah, that's her dog. Which, I mean, and the nurse played along and she's like, you know what? That's even more important than a husband. I was like, yes, it is. So much more important. No offense to husbands out there and happily married people. That's all great. But Miles is more important. Also, I was talking to my dad and was I talking to him on the phone or texting? Anyways, I said something about like Miles and I were walking up from the barn back up to the house, and my dad, kind of got a little bit excited and was like, oh, who's Miles? Like, I'm sure thinking, oh God, stop touching your face. I'm sure thinking like, oh, whoa, does Katie have a boyfriend? What's happening here? And I was like, no, Miles is my dog who I've had for like 8 years. So I don't know how he didn't know that. Apparently, I need to talk to my father more. But anyways, he just again assumed it was a person. But no, even more important than that. Even more important.